Little treatsy deetsy for you, Penny. Chickpea. A lolly. Come here. You got some schmutz on your face. Let me get that for you. There you go. Hello, my friends. I'm reporting live from my living room again. Well, I spent a lot of time in this living room last spring, and I'm spending a lot of time in this living room right now. I'll tell you that. Lots of Zoom and Skype calls going on. Oh, man. Well, welcome back. And it's nice and quiet here, I will say that. You know, for the last 8 months since this pandemic started, Chris and I have had 0 boarding requests. Nobody. Nobody's going anywhere. Everybody's staying home, so nobody needs to board their dog. And it has been so peaceful and quiet here, I gotta say. And we've gotten very used to this lifestyle now of just hanging with our dogs. And it's been really nice. I've had so much more time to spend with our dogs. I do like hour-plus walks every morning with the dogs. It's fantastic. And even our personal time. We have so much more time for ourselves, and we don't have a lot of time for ourselves. We both own our own businesses. We both work a lot, and it has been so nice. So we've decided we're not going to board anymore at all. So I stopped board and train programs a while ago. I've talked a lot in videos about why I made that choice, and now we've just decided that we're not even going to board dogs anymore. So this is going to be a 3-dog household going forward, nice and quiet. Love it. Now, this used to be our kennel area. I'm sure you've seen this in tons of videos, and maybe you didn't even notice there was a fireplace because we had it boxed in, and we haven't used it because it's been tucked in the corner, and we actually used to have our dogs' crates over here. They're now over on this side. And there used to be another shelving unit like this one over here, and I've dismantled that, and now I've got just these little pieces here. So, what am I going to do back here? Well, now that we have the space... many of you may know, or may not know, sorry, that I'm actually a musician as well. That's my hobby. So on the side, other than being a skateboarder, but that's my sport. I also have a hobby that I love to indulge in, and that's music, and I'm a guitar player. But in the last year, I got really into electronic music. So I started assembling more items to make like electronic music, and my studio has grown, and this is my little studio corner, which is not ideal by any means. It's it's not the most available, like, easy spot to make music. So actually, back here now, this whole area is going to be a shelving unit for all my studio, and I'm going to have this area to hang out and make my music in. So it's going to be nice. My dogs, as always, just sort of chilling on the beds during my video here. And they have a pretty sweet life, I gotta say. Now let me address something. But let me first share a little story. So a few months ago, I was out training, and I did a sit-stay, and I crossed the street and came back, and this lady was watching. She was very impressed, and she said, "Oh, I hope they're all going to get a nice treat for that." And I said, "No, not this time." And the lady, like, "What? They're not going to get a treat?" Like, she was actually kind of offended the fact that I said I wasn't going to give them a treat when I came back. I praised them all, came back, gave them a nice little rub on the head. "Great job, guys." But she couldn't fathom that I wasn't going to give them a treat. So what I wanted to sort of address today is my opinion on dog ownership and how I see it as a contract, okay? So let's talk about the contract. What do I mean by that? So I see dog ownership as a contract between myself and my dogs. My half of the contract, let's talk about that first. So my half of the contract is to cover everything. So my wife and I work to put the roof over our heads so that we all have a warm place in the winter and a cool place in the summer, okay? All their food, that's all free too. So free room and board for my dogs. None of that has to be covered by them. Medical expenses, the vet, free. I cover all of that, okay? So they have universal health care as well. And it's not cheap. Chickpea and Ollie just went in for dental surgery in December, and it was over $3,000 for the 2 of them. So this is not cheap to take care of a dog. Daily exercise on me, the owners, right? Mental stimulation in the form of like games or training or something. You do that every day too, so that's on me. Basically all of their needs, everything that's dog related in this house, my wife and I paid for. So we cover everything. We take care of the dogs. That is our half of the contract, is to take the best care of these animals that we can and provide them the best life that they can. They travel with us. They go to Florida in the winter, except for this winter. So that's our half. My dog's half of the contract, listen, obey. Obey commands. I say, go to your bed, go to your bed. We're out in the yard. I say, come in from the yard, come in from the yard. That's their job, is to behave. That's it. And in return, they get a wonderful life. But that's how I see this, okay? Now, you just saw me give them treats, so I certainly am not opposed to treats, but I am opposed to giving treats for every single thing a dog does. First of all, if that's sort of your scheme and you do everything with food, the dog's building a relationship to the food rewards and not to you. If you think the dog's listening to you when you have to present a treat, you're crazy. The dog's not listening to you. The dog is listening to the bribe. Like when we use food in training, it's used to shape a behavior. So we use it as like a lure to draw the dog into the down or to draw them up into the sit or to bring them into heel, like to shape behaviors. But once the behavior has been shaped, you should be weaning off of the need for food. You should be reducing the food until you don't need it. Now, I reward my dogs randomly. So if I'm out for a training walk, I might have 3 or 4 treats in my pocket, and I'll give them rewards for some things. They always get, like, praise as a reward. Physical touch, verbal praise, they always get that. But they don't require food rewards to do everything, okay? It comes back to the contract. My dogs, that's their job. They work for me, and in return, I take care of every need they have in their life. And that's just the way I see it. Maybe that's not the way you see it, but I'm just telling you, okay? So for this lady to tell me, I can't believe you're not giving them a treat. Really, lady? Did you take your dogs to Florida for the winter for 2 weeks? Did you do that? Oh, you did? No. Like, I'm just pointing out that, like, I do a lot of stuff for my dogs, and if we're all going to hinge things on, like, the little tiny food reward, and that's the relationship you're building, that's not a relationship. Build your relationship on praise and reward, physical touch, affection. Like, that's what my dogs want to work for. Anybody could give my dog a treat. Nobody praises and loves my dogs the way that I do. Okay, guys? That's my 2 cents on the contract and how I see the relationship between my dogs and I. All right? Hope you're doing well. Stay safe out there. It's still a scary world. I'm staying in here, staying home, doing Zoom and Skype calls all day. I'm going to get to it. I'll see you in the next video.